Hi, it's Jenny with Jenny's Wreath Boutique, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous wreath. It is so pretty, perfect for Christmas, and this wreath will have a kit available with it. I made a very similar design last year, and those kits sold out so quickly, as did my wreaths, so I wanted to do another version this year that has a very similar look, uses mostly different supplies, but has the same look. And I really hope you like this one as much as you liked last year's. And I'm so excited because this kind of wreath is so classic, so on trend too with the full berries. It's so beautiful. I'm excited to show you how to make it. This wreath uses a 14-inch grapevine. You can grab a kit with or without the grapevine. 14 inch is what you need. If you want to make a larger wreath, I would get 2 kits and then get an 18-inch grapevine from Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something. The next one, or the first material we're going to use are 5 of these red berry picks. They're actually not red berry picks. They are from a garland that I got that I absolutely am obsessed with. And each one of these sections I just pulled out. I have 5 of these. Aren't they just perfection? These are what started this wreath. This is going to give so much red color to our wreath, just all on its own. The other red berries and red items I have are these. These are a little bit darker, but look at that beautiful middle and the detail. Just a different berry gives it so much interest. And then these are longer and beautiful and shiny. So these are 3 different kinds of red berries. And then we have, these are the same flower I use. I was able to restock these. I used these in the last tutorial, but I'm obsessed with these plum. They're velvet plum blossom sprays. And they look so good with all the red berries. So I have 4 of these stems. And then I have these mini red ranunculus. They make the wreath just even better. I love them. And I love that I can use red flowers in a Christmas wreath. We're going to start with our greenery base, which I have 3 of these stems. One of them I already cut up. I'll show you how to cut them up, but these are the most realistic pine. They're so good. Or fir, pine or fir. I don't know if it matters, but look how real they look. And they're soft and just, it's hard to say what my favorite purchase is for this year, but this is definitely my top 5. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I have a soft cypress. One of these, we're going to take it apart and use the individual pieces, but kind of like that Norfolk pine look. So we've got 2 different evergreens as our base right here. So pretty. I'm also using my favorite wire cutters and my favorite hot glue. So if you like that classic red and green look, this is a wreath for you. The first thing we're going to start with is our pine spray. So let me show you how I'm cutting it up. Each stem is going to make 3 pieces in 1 little tiny piece. So we've got a long piece and 2 shorter pieces. So I'm just cutting like each stem like so. So I cut off the small one, and then these are just cut at the base. Really simple. Don't they look fresh? They look better than fresh because there's no bugs on them, and they don't hurt you or get sap on you, and they're gonna look fresh forever. Oh, I hope that I can get these year after year because they're so pretty. Okay, let me find the 3 long ones, and I'm gonna start with those and make sure that they are a third of the way around. Why is this not working? Come on, glue. So I'm just placing this along the grain of the grapevine. And what I mean by the grain of the grapevine is the grapevine goes this way. You kind of just place it at a deep angle so it's along the grain. So you're not going any other way. So I'm just making these, since I only have 3 of the long pieces, this is how I make my wreaths look nice and even. I make them in little sections, layer by layer. And so I'm making sure each of these is about a third of the way around, since I only have 3 of these long pieces. And then the other pieces are going to go in between. So I'm doing one on the outside and one on the inside in between each of the longer pieces. So it kind of gives some nice coverage. This goes on the outside. The shorter piece goes on the inside. And then these smaller pieces can just go cover up some of the middle parts. Okay, now that we have those in, we're going to take this apart. And I like these because you have a couple that are a little bit longer because they have two pieces connected. And then we've got a bunch of small ones. And I'm just going to cut off some of the wire because we don't need all those tiny pieces sticking through. So I'm just going to cut it a little bit. I'll keep the long ones intact. I don't have too many of them like this. And then the rest I'll just separate. You just pull it off the stem like this. Just really easy. And then you can leave these long, but I like to just cut them off so I don't have to worry about anything sticking out the back. Even though I place everything along the grain of the grapevine, so it shouldn't stick out the back. Every now and then, you know, it's placed more at an angle, so some pieces stick out the back. But if you cut them a little shorter, it's less likely to do so. So I have two longer pieces, so I'll place those first opposite each other. There's a little bit of a hole here, so I'll place it here first. And since most of these are shorter, they're not quite going to stick out as far as the pine. So I'm just going to place these where there are parts that don't stick out as much. So they can so the longer pieces can stick out as far as the pine. And then the rest we're going to place outside and inside. I'll start on the outside and get those pieces covered. I'm going to place in between all of these longer pieces, and I'm sticking them right on the edge so they stick out as far as possible. While this wreath is mainly berry focused, we are going to have some greenery peeping through, so it makes a nice backdrop for all of the red berries. It just gives it a pretty festive look with the green. Okay, and keep going, even though I have a longer piece here. And I love that when you take this apart, you get quite a bit of pieces, even though it's a kind of a smaller pick. You get a lot of pieces. And when you take it apart and place them individually, yes, it does take longer, but you get more bang for your buck. So now that the outside is pretty much covered, I'm going to start covering the inside. And you can place these either way. Like technically this is the front with the brown in the middle, but I sometimes like the back because it's just green, but either one is fine. Okay, now we have our greenery base. It's pretty skimpy on its own, but it's going to look so good with all the red. But I love how just natural it looks, so it's so pretty. All right, first thing we're going to do is add our big red berry clusters. This is going to look so good right away. And if you have any pieces that show like white. If anything's chipped off, just use a red marker. A red Sharpie works great. And just kind of color it in. You won't even notice. I'm going to go through and just clip off some of these pieces right here, like so. Just because we don't need those extra tiny pieces sticking out. These have good enough stems on their own. So we have 5 of these, so we're going to place them evenly around the wreath. Kind of place the stem in the middle so the berries can kind of just, they can cover the middle all the way out to the edge. And if you have a berry pop off, save it. So if you have like a more glaring hole where a berry has fallen off or something, you can just re-glue it there. I'm just going to set that aside in case I need it later. Aren't they so gorgeous? Oh my gosh, they make such a big impact. Okay, next item we're going to add is our red berries here. And I am going to cut these in 2 for some of them. Or, you know what? I'm using 1.5 of these stems. That was 1 stem. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long stems, 5, and then half of that. So that's 7 long stems total. So 1.5 stems. And the longer ones will just stay put, me not cutting them, and they will go toward the outside. And then the ones that I place more on the inside of the wreath, I'm going to cut in half so that the stems aren't so long. So we're placing these, and if you have any berries that are, you know, missing, or they have a white spot on them, you can also just cut them off. You won't even notice. So I'm making 5 of these. So each one's going in between these larger berry clusters. And then the other 2 we have are going to go in the middle, but they're going to be cut in half. So we'll get 4. Now I'm noticing this piece, this berry's about to come off. So I just dab a little bit of glue on it. Just put it on there. Like, none of these berries are ever going to be perfect. There's always something because there's so many foam berries. And then I noticed a piece over here has a white spot. So I'm just going to glue that berry we set aside, and I'm going to put it on top of that so it covers it up. And it looks like it's always been like this. Now I'm going to take our leftover stems. They're not leftovers, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you have to pry a berry off the stem, and that will make it have some white showing as well. So I'm just going to cut that off. Okay, now that I have 4 stems left, I'm going to place these in the middle. Okay, looking good so far. Now we're going to add our plum blossoms. These fill out so much. They're beautiful. So I am going to cut these in half. First, I'm going to cut the stem so it's not quite as long. And then right in the middle, You can see we've got like 3 main branches. I'm going to cut right here in the middle. So I have one branch that looks like this and one that looks like this. So we'll have 8 total. I'm just going to rotate these. And you just place them so they fit nicely in between everything. Just use your judgment for the placing. Everything's going to be a little different because all grapevines are different. So place it how it looks good. And this is kind of acting as a filler flower, and it fills out some of these gaps out this way. It's coming together. It looks so good already. I love it. I'm kind of just moving it around the big berry clusters. So when I have the 2, I'll have one stick out and then one cover the middle. And then we have one left. And it looks like, let me see. Looks so good. If you have a spot where you left more of a gap, that's where I would place it. That's what I'm looking for. But I think I did a pretty good job. I'm going to cut this one in half since I've already done a pretty good job keeping everything even. That way I can just place it specifically where it could use a little more coverage. Everything looks so good already. Okay, looks great. Okay, so this is with all those. It's pretty bright in here, but oh, it looks so good in person. I love it. Now we're going to add in these, and we're going to save our ranunculus for last. So I'm just cutting these up. Most of them are single pieces. Some of them have doubles. I like the doubles because you can just place one stem and you get 2 berries. So now what we're going to do is place these where it looks like it could use a little more coverage around the outside. The long ones are going to go on the outside. Just pull back your greenery and your berries to find a good spot to put it in the grapevine. Don't be afraid to lift up your berry clusters. Okay, now I'm going to place some of them more on the inside. Okay, now we have all those berries in. Looks so good. Now we just have to add our ranunculus. And each of these has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each of these has 6 clusters. You just pull them out like this. And then I do cut them shorter to make them easier to handle and place into the grapevine. And then we're just going to use these to fill in any gaps you see and just to bring in another beautiful red color and texture. These are so pretty. I love the little rosettes in the middle. Okay, now that I've gone all the way around, I've got my coverage. I've got 2 pieces left. And I'm just gonna look and see where else I can add them to like bring that red out. So maybe right here. And then I think over here would be good. Need something right there. Okay. I love it. Look at this beauty. Isn't it so gorgeous? I love it. Don't forget I have a kit available while supplies last. Oh, it is lovely. Don't worry, I'll show you a nice picture of it on my door, a little video of it, right after I'm done talking here so you can see what it looks like in natural lighting. But oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Here's the back. Here is the front. What do you think? Isn't it so perfect for Christmas? If you want to grab a kit while supplies last, it's linked in the description so you can grab one. Oh, I love it so much. If you enjoy videos like this, please let me know. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when new tutorials come out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.